answer. They're all good notes. It depends on which category you're in. They all have, the first one has a great return. Even at the foreclosure equity, there's still, the first one has a great return on monthly payments. It's a 17% return from the investment. Your total investment, $21,000. If you get that $100,000 note to pay a minimum of $300 a month, you're still going to make a 17% return off of a $21,000 investment, which is great. You could reperform that note and sell it for 40, 30 cents in a dollar. In 5 years, if you collected the $3,600 a year, you'll make your money back, so it becomes an infinite return at that point. So that's a good note. The second one is good because there's equity. If you look at the foreclosure equity, there's just enough to cover back your investment 100%. So that kind of minimizes the risk factor. Knowing that you could make at least your money back, you know, if it goes through foreclosure and at 80% of the market value. The third one is super great because it's covered, you know, $10,000 more in the foreclosure equity than the total payoff. So that's really the safest note. That would be in the category 1, current on the first, and full equity coverage. So that one you're kind of pretty much almost guaranteed to get your money back, plus more, if you look at the situation. Now, we talked about earlier, even in that perfect situation, things can go wrong. Let's say you purchased number 3, and you was fully covered in equity, but then the homeowner had a curtailment in income or death in the family or something, one of those 10 things that happen to us in everyday life, and we don't pay our first mortgage, and it starts to snowball, and it falls behind 3 or 4 months, 5 months, we're at risk. Even though we had that much equity, we have a lot of risk now because that first is falling behind. And a lot of people just sit and say, well, I'm super covered in foreclosure equity, so nothing can happen to me. But the reality is you still can get wiped if you have that much coverage in foreclosure, if no one comes to buy it alone. If it's in one of those areas where the days on the market is a year or whatever, and they don't sell like that, there's going to be no investors at that sheriff sale ready to buy. So the first will foreclose against everybody who's subsequent and wipe you off of the property. So what's your play in that situation? You have to reinstate the first mortgage. You have the right as a second lien holder to reinstate the mortgage. So basically what you start doing is once you're authorized to speak to the first mortgage company, they'll give you the amount that is due to cure the loan. How many payments that need to be caught up, late fees and interest and everything, to bring the loan back to performing. So if you have that much equity, you'll want to make that play to protect your investment by reinstating the first. Right? Very simple.